What is up, everybody? We are back. Please do me a favor and let me know if you could hear me okay. We had some things going on over at the studio, so we had to do our own thing here in the comfort of one of my many establishments. Um, Please give me a 1 in the comments if the sound is okay, if you can hear me loud and clear. We have 3 amazing topics to discuss tonight. One is Trump ending Section 8, or not necessarily ending it, but making some big cuts to Section 8 that definitely got your gonna have your grandma, your mama, and all the people who've been living a generational welfare culture in a tizzy. They're gonna be pretty pissed off because Trump is now kicking people off of Section 8 that are not eligible. The next topic is gonna be McDonald's making a huge exodus out of Chicago. We all know why. You're going to make the excuses, but we all know why they're leaving. And we're going to dive deeper into that and see who the people doing the crime are going to blame for why they're not going to be able to order a double quarter pounder with cheese pretty soon. Okay. And then lastly, we got to get a little messy tonight, y'all. We got to get a little messy tonight. We're going to talk up since y'all join me at night. We're going to have a little Pan-Africanism after dark type, a little Defiant Brandon after dark. We got to get into this situation with Papoose exposing Remy Ma. First, we're going to take care of business, the important stuff. And then in the end, we're going to have a nice little treat, a little tea treat by talking about some mess, some gossip, okay? And it's going to be good. So stick around. Shout out to all my day ones in the building. Turney Tyke, my boy Hakeem, Rad7 is in the building. It's good to see all y'all. Y'all must be bored, and that's okay. Shout out to my boy Truth884. He's in Cali right now. He's in LA right now. Tomorrow, I'm going to link up with the bro, and we're going to have a time because he done came from the city we're talking about, Chicago, the shithole. And he came out to sunny Southern California, and I'm definitely going to show my bro a good time. I'm pulling up tomorrow, and it's going to be epic, okay? I'm talking about hoochies. I'm talking about drinking. I'm talking about smoking. We going to steal a car. We going to steal a Kia in this bitch. No, I'm just joking, y'all. Y'all know I don't do none of that. But shout out to everybody in the building joining us. Okay, so let's do this thing. Let's get right into it. McDonald's and several other businesses, not as high profile as McDonald's. Oh, whoa. Please don't forget to like this video as you come in. It's 42 people in here. Let's get 42 likes. And y'all, keep reminding people to like the videos. That's what's going to get these things spread through YouTube. I'm going to be here with you on a nightly basis after everybody goes to sleep, keeping you entertained and keeping you informed after a long day of work. And hopefully you'll be too busy having sexual relations at times like this, so you'll never be able to watch me, but you can enjoy the playback. If you ain't getting none, get some. If you can't get none, go ahead and watch this. Now, McDonald's is leaving Chicago. Well, really, specifically, you need to sit your ass down. Hey, shut up. Don't start making noise now. Sorry. Look, I'm cursing people out. Look at me. I'm just going crazy tonight. Look, people always want to make noise when it's time to get it cracking. Hey, go in the room. Go in the room. Go. Hey, listen, you don't need to talk. Just go in the room. Knock and go in the room. Hurry up. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, bro, man. All right. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Sorry, that was very unprofessional, but look, it's late. Okay. Okay. So let's get this started. Let me share this really quick so we can get a little bit, we can get up to speed on what's going on. Chicago, McDonald's is abandoning downtown Chicago. Hey, listen, man, I know y'all want it pristine and professional, but we keep it funky over here. This is life. When you have kids, you're going to have to yell at people. You have to get on people. That's just the way it is. Some of y'all need to be doing that a little more, and then y'all kids wouldn't be up in McDonald's acting a damn fool, making them shut down and leave your city. Discipline, parenting.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson calling President Trump a monster after the DOJ launched a probe into the Windy City's hiring practices. Mayor Johnson touted the number of Black officials in his administration, and now he's hitting back at the president.
The president's animus towards women, people of color, working people, this is not a surprise. He's a monster.
All right, I hate to stop it so prematurely, but see, this is the problem I have with these Democrat politicians. Whenever someone moves to hold them accountable, they start putting other groups in front of them and making criticism and calls for them to be held accountable about these other groups. His hate towards women, he's a monster. Bro, we ain't talking about hate towards women, Brandon Johnson. We're talking about your racism towards non-Black people when you said that you're only, just the other day, he said that he's only going to hire Black people for very prominent positions within the city of Chicago's framework. What the hell does that have to do with Donald Trump hating women and being a monster? This is all these people can do. It's like you said, I got a problem with the mailman. Man, see how you treating the trash man? No, mailman, we got a problem with you. Why are you bringing up the trash man? Oh, because I'm going to do anything to take the attention off of me and try to dog whistle the people who advocate for these other marginalized groups, quote unquote, so they can run interference for me, distract Trump while I continue to run my city in a horrible racist way. This guy is disgusting. He's worse than Lori Lightfoot.
Period. We have the most diverse administration in the history of Chicago. And he is threatened by that.
So, Jillian, as much as I think the Trump administration does some monstrous things, if you're sitting there with a 7% approval rating, wouldn't you think that you might consider that you've got to do some things differently to get the support back of your city?
I think he's thinking not just different, but if you're at a 7% approval rating, you got to go big. You got to outdo everybody else. You got to go hard charging at every Republican you can find. And that's, what he's doing. Whether it remains to be seen whether that works for Chicagoans. It has certainly for other politicians in the city in the past, meaning they have a proclivity to reelect the same people over and over and over, despite corruption, despite everything falling apart, despite violence, so maybe it'll work for him. I don't know.
Greg, the crux of the accusation is about DEI, which the Trump administration has been going after. We had Lori Lightfoot, who didn't get selected again, who didn't want to call in white reporters, was the big story that we were covering back then. What do you make of all of this?
Yeah, it's weird how we used to think Lori Lightfoot was the worst mayor in history. He makes her look like Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, it's imagine if a white leader said, why do I hire so many white people? Well, they always show up on time, right? Isn't that great? You would be fired. But for some reason, you could be racist in America if you're Black. Well, Lori Lightfoot was.
Boy, I want to go ahead and get into victory to find out why. You can see most have
affordable lunch. That includes us here at CBS. People who work in the loop are often looking for a quick and affordable lunch. That includes us here at CBS.
Some of our colleagues noticed there used to be lots of McDonald's locations nearby. Check out all those golden arches. But one by one, you can see most have disappeared. So we sent our Lauren Victory to find out why.
These vacant storefronts sit just a block off Chicago's famous Michigan Avenue, a welcome greeting of graffiti. Are you getting tired of answering the question, how is the loop doing?
No, not really, because I every day there's something new and improved.
Like the restaurant where the Chicago Loop Alliance's Michael Edwards met us. More on Memento in a moment. First, an assessment of the loop's health.
First quarter of this year, 1 million people came down, $280 million in economic impact.
Downtown foot traffic on the weekends is even higher than before the pandemic. Consumers are coming, commercial tenants not as much. High rent doesn't help.
We tend to only bring in large retailers and national retailers, and many of them are downsizing.
One company that left a supersized hole downtown, McDonald's. There used to be one right here between Randolph and Washington. There's also nothing left of the Mickey D's on Adams. The Golden Arches on Clark, not there. No more Big Macs at this Loop location either. 4 McDonald's gone, within a 10-minute walk of each other. What is going on?
I think that would be a question for McDonald's.
Oh, we asked them, but got an appreciate you reaching out reply. Interestingly, McDonald's global headquarters is only about a mile from the Loop. Why are they hightailing it from their hometown? Again, no explanation from corporate. An outside source told us crime and tensions with the unhoused were a factor for at least one of the closures. The Illinois Restaurant Association had another theory.
I know that since 2020, restaurants have seen an increase of 35% labor costs, 35% purchasing costs, and almost 20% in fixed cost.
Now add to the
so you seen that, you heard that. Okay.
So here we go with the constant excuse making. They clearly are identifying why they're leaving. Now, it's a corporation. They can't just come out and be like, yo, it's the criminals, the homeless, all this stuff, because we know there are all these quote unquote activist groups that are just seizing on an opportunity to hear McDonald's say something negative towards the homeless so they can start doing lawsuits and all this stuff. So McDonald's is not going to disclose the reason. They're going to do what business does, and they're just going to move on. But the people around McDonald's, the people who work in the city and go to those places, they are seeing every day the same thing you are all seeing. And that's what makes these situations so damn frustrating, because we all are experiencing this crap. Yet there are so many of us who they're not even getting paid, but they feel obliged or obligated to look the other way or act like they don't see what's going on, all in the service of what? Not hurting someone's feelings. You know why McDonald's is shutting down in Chicago. One, you got a bunch of black kids running around, fighting up in McDonald's, causing a ruckus, making people not want to sit in there and, you know, eat and stuff like that. Then on top of that, you got a bunch of homeless people all over the place, making it very inconvenient and hard, difficult for people to go in there and just get a quick bite to eat. No one wants to be in a fast food place anymore in any of these urban areas, because you just don't know what the hell is going to happen. You're sitting down at a McDonald's, you got a 4-piece chicken McNugget, there's 3 of y'all, so y'all gonna have one each and split the 4th one. Next thing you know, some black chick is flipping out because somebody gave her fries that are cold. She's not just flipping out, she's jumping on the counter, attempting to strangulate the damn cashier so that like the cashier made the fries. Wig falling off and everything, about to get a felony because somebody gave her fries that are cold or undercooked or overcooked or whatever. They forgot to put ketchup in the bag. These people really don't need a reason. There's too many mentally unstable people running around in the inner city. They're not being taken care of. The things they're doing are not being addressed. The crime they're committing is being ignored. And that's only the beginning, because then you got the young scholars who get out of school, congregate at the fast food joint. Now, it's cool to have a place to kick it. You used to watch those shows where they will all go hang out at a diner or whatever. Well, these kids aren't just hanging out. They're not just hanging out. They are literally committing crime within McDonald's, destroying the location, destroying the bathrooms, and etc. And guess what? No one's doing anything about it. So now it's getting to the point where the cost of operating the McDonald's has increased exponentially. Why? Because they have to make up for all these crimes, all these all the damage that's done, all the revenue that they're losing because people don't feel safe going to sit down at McDonald's and having a burger. And the crazy thing about those McDonald's down in Chicago, a lot of those locations don't even have like a drive-through because it's so compact down there. They only could be storefronts where you walk in and sit down and eat. So if you're a person who wants to go to McDonald's without getting vandalized, like robbed, you'll drive a couple of blocks over or drive a couple of miles down the road so that you can go through a drive-through and you don't have to run into Pookie, Ray Ray, their kid Glocktavius, and Bonquisha, the single mother, the struggling single mother who had to come downtown and go to the county building. And now she has a chip on her shoulder and she's decided she's going to take it out on the cashier at McDonald's or the cook or whoever she decides to get into it with that day. We know what's going on. We feign ignorance. Then we play the victim. Then we say, well, why don't they open these places in our neighborhood? Well, they do, or they did, but now they're realizing that it costs more to sell something to you than they're able to make by selling it to you. So they say, look, make them drive. Let's only sell to the ones who are truly committed to getting these cheeseburgers and these McNuggets. And now you're inconvenienced. Ignorance will destroy convenience every time.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. A McDonald's in Virginia is banning anyone under the age of 21 from going inside without a guardian. Now, the temporary decision comes amid a spike in teen violence at the storefront that managers say has left staff fearing for their safety.
Listen to that. A spike in teen violence at damn McDonald's. Bro, you walk in McDonald's, it's only one of two things you could be doing in there. You either using a bathroom or buying something to eat. At what point do you have time to commit violence in McDonald's? Whose mind even thinks of violence when they're going to McDonald's? I don't even go in McDonald's. McDonald's sucks. But if I did go in McDonald's to enjoy one of those delicious apple pies or something like that, I'm going to think there's probably kids in here. You know what I'm saying? Moms with their kids, people on their lunch break, motherfuckers still in the Wi-Fi. Usually they sit in the parking lot. Why are your kids in McDonald's committing violent acts? Act like normal people. Go to the park and shoot it up. Why are you in McDonald's doing this shit?
One older than 21 needs to ring the doorbell to be let in, believe it or not. A manager is standing at the door to enforce the rule. The manager won't be able to get anything else done. People under the age of 21 can still use a drive-through or pick up a mobile order. Joining us to talk about it here on The Factor Uncensored, Confessions floor manager Diego Flores and publicist for several Houston eateries, Sherry Hendrinos. Glad to have you all on The Factor Uncensored. So, foolish decision, good decision.
Before we get into this little interview, this is the type of ignorance I'm talking about, King of Bakersfield. Kids fight anywhere. Not my kids, maybe your kids, not mine, because my kids are raised right. This is the type of dumb shit we say. Kids fight anywhere. No, they don't. Normal kids are not in McDonald's throwing hands. This is the type of stupid shit we say to make it seem like it's not as bad as it really is. Kids don't fight anywhere. If I go to the white neighborhood, you don't see kids fighting in McDonald's. If I go up to Alhambra to the Asian neighborhood, you don't see kids fighting in McDonald's. It's black kids and more recently Hispanic kids that are doing this shit. The kids in the inner city whose parents are told, you better not touch them, you can't do this, you can't do that, but they're surrounded by a bunch of bad influence. They're weak-minded, so they're followers, and they go do whatever their friends think is cool. Let's be real. I ain't in no damn suburb. Stop yourself. I'm just in an area where the kids are raised right. People say, oh, you must live in a white neighborhood. This is a white neighborhood pretty much, but there's a lot of black neighbors. I have a lot of black neighbors. Actually, right here in particular at this spot, everybody on the bottom floor is black. And then down the street, I guess they rich. They got a big ass house right here It's a bunch of black folks living up in there. Black people across the street, none of them are doing this shit. I'm just surrounded by black people who want something out of life. They teach their kids values and morals so their kids don't become statistics. And you can do that no matter what neighborhood you're in, because I was taught those things when I was younger. Now, I did have a stint where I was rebellious and I was bad and I was angry, but I believe the morals and values that were instilled in me when I was younger helped me see the light quickly, like, hey, this ain't the life for me. Stop that shit. Kids fight anywhere. There's no other race that'll say some shit like that other than a black man. You're condoning it. Oh, it's normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. You got to get down where you're mad at. Aw. Facts. Why can't these kids be like Suspect and just be punks and just yap and then run away and hide in the bathroom? But these kids is too gangster, man. This is a product of the degenerate aspects of black culture. I've said it. Thomas Sowell has said it. Walter Williams has said it. And black folks, when they finally are a victim of this shit, then they openly say it.
Decision what?
I mean, I think it's a horrible decision. You are punishing a full age group over the actions of a few people, just because a few people are inadequate and don't know how to act in a business. I'm now punishing everyone who's under 21. It's doing a few things. You're losing business, you're losing foot traffic, and also you're causing everyone who is either coming in through drive-thrus or coming in through mobile ordering to wait longer. So anyone who's over 21, I come in, I'm going to stop going in to go get something. I now have to, my time for business to get my product is now taking a lot longer because everyone has to go to the drive-thru. Why am I being punished if I'm under 21 for the fact that that gentleman, who I have no clue what he did, is behaving how he shouldn't be? I think a way to combat is, what you need to do is hire security for those traffic areas. Let's say if it's after school, the 18-year-olds get out of high school, they walk to the McDonald's, cause problems, and that's they're fighting, whatever they may be doing. Cool. We're going to hire a security guard to go to those times, make sure that we are managing and mitigating any risks.
This guy is an absolute idiot. And I hope no one ever hires him to manage any business or help them figure out this problem. Listen, the jig is up. Everyone knows that security guards can't do shit. There's a 7-Eleven downtown Long Beach where I live. There's a security guard who works there. There's security guards who patrol the downtown area. I told you guys this story that happened a couple months ago where they were like teenage girls. They were probably out of high school. They walked in 7-Eleven, took a bunch of shit, were fighting with the cashiers. Shit spilled all over, food and candy spilled all over the ground, and they ran off laughing with arms full of merchandise. You know what the security guard did? He sat there and watched. Go to any store. This is why Mexico got taken over by cartels, because of that kind of thinking. Yeah, just hire a security guard. Everybody knows security can't do anything. The criminals are hip to that now. Now, if you empower security guards to beat that ass and, get paid a little more, you might be you might be at the beginning of solving the problem. But as long as the criminals know the security guards can't do anything, they're going to keep going in. There are people who see a security guard and then say, I'm going in there because I know the security guard ain't going to do nothing. I even think that it's to the point where many security guards are actually in on it. Hey, come in my store and steal this, this, and this. I can't even stop you. But let's let this moron keep on going.
And Sherry, from a PR standpoint, is this a nightmare for McDonald's? Obviously, we're talking about it here today. Now,
I don't think it's a good
I would think a mom and pop could get away with this because you can see it like convenience stores in different neighborhoods. Only 2 kids at a time to come into the store, or clear backpacks, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's, like he said, a couple people ruin it for everybody. The other part of me thinks of it too is if you have a manager at the door, they're not managing. So now your P&L is off. You know, I know we do PR, but it's like,
Where's
I'm
my
thinking of the
paycheck?
numbers. Yeah, like how are you, you know, you need to find budgets, but they're turning away money that could be business. And McDonald's is a franchise. So I've worked with a lot of franchises. That is a franchisee. That's probably not a corporate location. So that's
Don't ever listen to dumb people like this. Oh, just think of all the money you're losing. Well, just think of all the money you're going to lose with a lawsuit when one of these kids attacks someone, hurts someone. They get to fighting up in there and knock somebody's kid over. And now that McDonald's location has a $20-30 million lawsuit because someone ended up getting hurt and had to go to the hospital. See, these are the type of people who you never want around, because these people try to make you the bad guy for attempting to King of Bakersfield. Hey, you're not failing me yet. They have insurance. And I understand Bakersfield is a shithole, and you do live there, so I can kind of get your thinking. I kind of guesstimate, and we're still cool. But anybody who lives in Bakersfield, don't trust they thinking. That place is a shithole. Why you would stay somewhere like that? Something ain't right. But listen, they have insurance. And what happens once there's one payout? Insurance is astronomical as it is. And your insurance, they measure the risk. They see what is the likelihood of something happening that could cause them to have to pay you money. And they raise your premiums. So if there's all types of police reports, 911 is being called to the location, kids is fighting in the location, what you think your insurance going to be looking like? All around is just not worth it. Here we go. You're ignorant of social policy. Just, hey, didn't I tell you it was only going to be a matter of time before they start making excuses? Social policy. How many black households get SNAP and cash benefit? Man, listen, you on the next topic. Just wait, be patient. But anyway, listen, everything ends up costing more. And in the long run, what that does is it raises the prices for the customers who aren't doing anything wrong. And then they stop going there. And then the business shuts down, and the community loses a place where they could buy food. This is exactly what is happening in Chicago. All those McDonald's locations are closed down because of criminals and transients. Now, the people who get off on their lunch break and they need to get something quick, or the mom who has kids and she needs a quick snack, and McDonald's might be the only thing she can afford with her EBT card. They now don't have a place to go to get food. This is what happens, guys. When you defend criminality and start making up all these excuses, Negro stalling tactics, as they're called, you lose in the end. You lose trying to defend somebody who doesn't give a damn about you enough to not commit crime in the restaurants, grocery stores, and businesses that serve your community. You don't win from defending criminals because criminals don't care about you. Most of them don't even care about themselves. So you're not doing them any favors. All you're doing is throwing away what you have, giving away or forfeiting what you have to make them feel more comfortable so they can commit more crime.
It's also something that either they did, who knows if they talked to corporate or not,
Right.
we're not sure. So I'm interested to see what type of statement corporate will come out with.
Corporate will come in and say, look, change that back or you lose your franchise?
I don't know if someone would lose a franchise over it, but I think you could get your arm
Penalty.
twisted. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get your arm twisted because at the end of the day, like I said, as you know, I work with a lot of different franchises, and the franchise is king, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the franchisor makes the rules for the franchisee. Now, the franchisee does have say in things of day-to-day operations, but the brand is the brand. So when you're dealing with a big brand like a McDonald's, Burger King, chains, Chili's, it's not like Confessions is privately owned, right? So you guys can make your own rules and do whatever you want. But when you're dealing with a franchisor or franchisee, I'm interested to see how that works, who the franchisee is, how many even McDonald's they have, because a lot of people buy these in bulk.
Yeah.
So I've seen for different reasons, franchise actually can take your license away.
All right. We want to thank you guys for joining us. We'll see what happens.
And these people don't own any franchises. Let's keep that in mind. They don't own any franchises. And that's the problem. You have a bunch of employees trying to tell business owners, the people who hired them, how they should be running their business. Why should they change anything about the way their business operates when there are people doing the same business in different areas who don't have to deal with this crap? And she said it all when she said many of these places, many of these people buy McDonald's in bulk. You know why? You know what that means? That means they can shut down the one in your little shithole neighborhood and just focus on the ones that are bringing them money, where they don't have all the overhead and all the extra expenses and potential threats to their financial security. There are businesses that are going out of business because they can't do business because these criminal children, despite color, these young criminals make it impossible for them to do their business, for people to go get the things that they need. There's a reason why, when you were young, you were a little bit more gangster. You see a crowd of kids hanging out, you like, man, I'm going to get what I'm going to get. But now let's be real. You getting older, you drive past. I'll go to the place over here. I remember there's an In-N-Out near where I live. It's a hamburger place for you who don't live in California. It was a bunch of black kids at In-N-Out right here by the one where I live. Bro, I rolled up. Line was long. I was like, I'm going to go inside. Saw all them black kids up in there acting a fool. I said, you know what? Nope. Instead, I went to Dave's Hot Chicken. I said, I'm not dealing with that. Let's be real. You see a bunch of young black kids and you're automatically like, nope, something's going to happen. They're going to be in there acting a fool. I'm probably going to have to freaking strangle one of these kids if they do something to me or, bump me or push me or start talking trash. I don't even want to deal with it. And that's the way these franchises are looking at our community. They're just like, why even bother? Why put themselves through this shit? And then you guys will say, there's no jobs in the community. Well, yeah. Because you won't get control over your chillins, so they go in and they drive the business out of the community by acting like animals. Let's be honest. Let's be real. But you can't tell a black person that, oh, you're a racist. You're a coon. I'm a coon, and you ain't got a grocery store to shop in your neighborhood. We gonna keep it a buck? Hey, Brooklyn Stevens, facts. A bunch of almighty suspects. Facts. Are we going to keep it a buck or are we going to continue to lie? Many of us are okay with lying. And that is why the end of entitlement welfare culture is absolutely 1,000% necessary. Because African American people, we refuse to be honest with ourselves about the state of our community, the state of our children, how they're coming up. We lie to ourselves. Oh, no, it ain't really like that. You're not paying attention to the facts and all this mess. Dude, this is the fact. Grocery stores in your community that's been there 30 years. Your grandparents shopped there 50 years. Your grandparents shopped there. Your mama shopped there. You shopped there. That grocery store is closing. They're leaving. They're not coming back. Why? Because your kids and these irresponsible adults who have childlike mindsets are in there robbing the people blind. Why do you think Walmart just left Chicago? Did you guys know that? Walmart left those same areas. Those same damn areas where McDonald's just shut down, Walmart has abandoned those areas. Why? Crime, stealing, violence. How long are you going to keep acting like that's not happening? How long are we going to keep faking the funk? That ain't happening, Brandon. You lying on us. Bro, I've been with you my whole life. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who we are. I know exactly who we are as a people. And I know that there are many of us who are very responsible. We are very accountable. But you know what this is? You know what the problem with this situation is? There are many of us who are accountable. But there are many of us who are accountable, but we defend ignorance, criminality, and people who do not possess the ability to hold themselves accountable. So you might be a good citizen. You might be a peaceful person. You might be a person who doesn't go into the grocery store and steal. But you over here defending some no good hooligan, bamboozling swindler who does all those things. And you know what happens when you do that? The same exact thing that would happen if you yourself were the swindler or the bamboozler. Let's be 100% honest. The same damn thing happens if you defend a criminal as would happen if you were committing the crime yourself. And you don't want to admit that. When you know your cousin, oh, he's really a good person. I'll give you a quick example. I know y'all hate my story times, right? I have a sister. She used to be in an extremely abusive relationship, right? I fought with the guy once or twice. After that, I was like, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. You either leave this dude, you're on your own next time, right? Well, you know what was so funny? Once my sister finally left this guy, and I'm talking about ass whoopings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whooping your feet, nigga. I'm talking about broken collarbone type ass whoopings, broken jaw type ass whoopings by this dude. My sister told me, you know what, B? You know what, Brandon? I said, what? She said, you know, one of the main reasons I didn't just leave this dude and cut him off, she said, do you know mom would call me and tell me how this dude wasn't really a bad person and I should give him another chance and all that. My own mom used to sit up and defend this nigga. Think about that. But here's the problem. Mommy defends, oh, he's not a bad person, but sis is still getting the collarbone broken. Still getting beat within an inch of her life, black eyes and all this stuff. What did you gain? If this dude would have killed my sister, what would my mother have gained by saying he's not a bad person? A lot of black people just have that as a default setting in their brain. It is now a part of our culture. And it has not always been, but it is now a part of our culture to defend criminality. And the minute you realize that, that's when you start the process of stopping that type of behavior. Why in the hell would you defend a no good criminal? Why would you defend a no good criminal, bruh? Why would you defend someone who's beating on your own kid? Help me understand that. That's not natural. People don't justify threats. They eliminate them. But black community, we over here defending the criminals who make it impossible for us to live in our neighborhoods. And then if you say something about it, oh man, this is like when I get in arguments with that white fool Lush over at No Jumper. He's white, but he's one of those people who feels like he's obligated to defend negative aspects of black culture. You know why you've been trained to do that? Because you have become agents of your own destruction. They have recruited you as agents or servants to facilitate your own. They've recruited you into the service of facilitating your own demise. And you can't even see it. Because if someone says anything about the way a black person is behaving, they are a criminal. They are a criminal. I'm about to give y'all some of this soul, man. I'm about to give you some of this soul, man. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. I got to let him talk to you. It is new, degenerate things, behaviors, and ways of thinking that have infiltrated our community, that have infiltrated our culture. That's why everyone who has sense says, it's not that black people are bad. It's that black people have accepted. Some have adopted. Others have simply accepted a degenerate culture or certain aspects. They've accepted and allowed degenerate things to be programmed into our culture and behavior.
It's to the contrary. And if you look within the black community, those blacks who had escaped what I call the black redneck culture, they've moved on. So, but it's the culture the different parts of the black community had. They were different.
Daniel Patrick Moynihan, in his famous 1965 report entitled "The Negro Family: The Case for National Action," close quote. Longish quotation, but it gets to something, I believe. Moynihan, the fundamental problem is that of family structure. The Negro family in the urban ghettos is crumbling. A middle class has managed to save itself, but for vast numbers of the unskilled and poorly educated, the fabric of conventional social relationships has all but disintegrated. So long as this situation persists, the cycle of poverty and disadvantage will continue to repeat itself, close quote. When Moynihan wrote those words, the illegitimacy rate among African Americans was 25%.
Now, listen, I want you guys, we learning tonight. Oh, well, we're going to get a lesson. Look at what was written and tell me if you don't see this all around you. So Moynihan wrote, and I'm going to make this big. So Moynihan wrote, the fundamental problem is that of family structure. The Negro family in the urban ghettos is crumbling. A middle-class group has managed to save itself, but for the vast numbers of the unskilled and poor, but for vast numbers of the unskilled and poorly educated, the fabric of conventional social relationships has all but disintegrated. So long as this situation persists, the cycle of poverty and the disadvantage will continue to repeat itself. Daniel Patrick Moynihan. He wrote this in the 60s. Moynihan wrote this in the 60s. When black illegitimacy, meaning like black kids growing up with a father, without a father, was only 25%. Now, when you say the middle class has escaped this, well, that's me. That's us. That's me. That's Alan. That's MJ. That's Hakeem, laughing like that's everybody damn near in here. We've escaped it. We don't have to deal with that shit anymore if we don't want to. We don't have to live in the ghetto if we don't want to. We've escaped it. But do you know what we still do that contributes to it? We justify it. We make excuses for it. We shame people who speak out against it. So then they become fearful to speak what they obviously know and complain or push back against what they see happening in those urban areas. And so the criminality and degeneracy just goes unchecked. We're doing it. We're doing it. That's the one thing Dr. Moynihan never could see coming. He never thought the day would come where black people defended the very behavior that destroyed their community. But yet here we are. Who would have ever saw that coming?
As this situation persists, the cycle of poverty and disadvantage will continue. The illegitimacy rate among African Americans was 25%. Today, the illegitimacy rate among white Americans is 36%. Among Hispanics, more than 50%. And among African Americans, more than 70%.
Yes.
Okay, so 70% of black kids are growing up without a father in the home, right? That's a lot. But look at this. Back in those days, the illegitimacy rate of black American children was 25%. White people was significantly lower. Now, white people's illegitimacy rate has surpassed what black people's illegitimacy rate was back then, because it's now at 36%. But you don't see the same behavior taking place. That's the point he's getting to. Well, now everybody's illegitimacy rate is past where black people's illegitimacy rate was back then. So why isn't everyone committing these crimes? Why isn't everyone's neighborhood looking the way the black neighborhoods look? Because it's not legitimacy or illegitimacy. It's all about culture. The things that you allow and associate with who you are and how you operate within society.
Aside from throwing up your hands in despair, what is to be done?
The first thing to be done is to understand that this was a result of policies begun in the 1960s. This is not a legacy of what happened 100 years before the 1960s.
The breakdown of the black family is not a legacy of slavery.
No, if you the classic study of this goes all the way back to the era of slavery, and they find that most black kids, even under slavery, had lived with two parents, and that was true all the way up until the 1960s. And so, if you really want to find out what has happened, what's changed, it has changed since the 1960s. And the fact that whites now have a higher rate of illegitimacy than blacks had when Moynihan wrote suggests that this is something that spreads out. But if you look at something else, if you look at those blacks, and look at black husband-wife families, the poverty rate among such families has been in single digits every year since 1994. And so if you look at the external causes, why the husband and wife families and the welfare single mom families all are facing the same society and objective things, but the results are radically different because the cultures and values are different.
So you would roll back welfare. I guess that's the principal policy. So what would Tom Sowell do? One, you'd eliminate welfare, you'd reform welfare. What would you do?
Roll it back.
All right. And what about affirmative action?
Eliminate it.
Just gone.
Yeah.
Colorblind policy completely. All right. What prospect for that do you see?
None.
No black leader of any standing. I'm talking about a political leader as opposed to an intellectual such as yourself. You've got, there's you, there's Walter Williams. Do you get the sense that there's a growing generation, a rising generation of African-American intellectuals who say, enough of this, I'm with Tom Sowell?
Well, I don't know if they'll go that far. There's no point.
That would be asking a lot.
There's no point being reckless. But I think there are people like Shelby Steele and many others, Larry Elder. You can run through a long list, and there are more such people now than there were, say, in the 1970s. But in terms of political leaders, all the incentives politically are for black leaders to blame all problems in the black community on the larger society, and that enables them to take on the role of being the defender of the black community against enemies, which in turn creates the situation in which many blacks don't feel that anything that they do is going to help themselves unless it's done politically as a group.
Okay, so Thomas Sowell is telling you right there. This started in the 1960s. The entitlement programs directly led to this degenerate behavior. And he pointed out how even when the numbers of white illegitimacy reached the numbers that black illegitimacy left behind long ago, you still didn't see such a radical change in the culture or the behavior within the culture. I'll give you a perfect example. Say you got two families. One family is hardworking, mom and dad work, kids go to school, they get good grades. They bringing in about $100,000 a year. On the other hand, you have this poor family, single mother or single father, but single mother is probably the worst demographic. Single mother, she's on welfare. She's bringing in about $30,000 a year. With welfare, she might strip on the side or do something strange for a little change. Let's say she's bringing in about $40,000, $45,000 a year. Okay. Two different households. In the first household, the dad loses his job. Immediately, let's say the single mom has two kids. Let's say the family with the mom and dad has 4 kids. Okay. So one day the dad goes to work. Hey, dude, you're fired. You're done. They might have been irresponsible with their finances. They might not have much savings. They might have, just not be good with money. So immediately, overnight, their income goes from $100,000 a year. It's slashed in half. And now they are on the mom's income alone of $50,000 a year with 4 children, probably got like a mortgage or rent that they have to pay on the house, probably got like 2 cars, maybe 2 car notes, all this stuff. That family will never say, that family's mind is going to be like, can we go get a loan to get the money we need? Dad's going to immediately be like, I got to find another job. He's going to be looking for any job he can find in the meantime to help pay some of those bills. Mom's going to be seeing if she could work overtime, right? They're going to go to the kids. Look, some of the stuff that you guys are used to getting, you're not going to be able to get those things right now because money is tight, right? Now, let's say welfare mom has some type of financial hardship. Pookie done stole her welfare check. She can't pay her rent. Or she forgot to fill out her, back in the day when you were on welfare, there was this thing called a CA7 form. You had to fill that out every month and turn that in to the county building so you could get your welfare check. Let's say she forgot to fill out the CA7 form. Now her money is delayed for 30 days. Or maybe she's been doing welfare fraud and got caught and she gets cut off. You know what the first thing these people are going to go think to do? Crime. Selling drugs, selling cooter, maybe trying to find a man they could use or exploit to pay their bills. It's never an issue where these people say, yo, let me go out and find a job. Maybe me getting cut off of welfare was the kick in the pants I need to go find a job. And we learned this when the government, Bill Clinton actually did this, started cutting back how much was given on welfare. Back in the day, you used to get money for each kid that you have. If you had 10 kids, the government would give you 10 checks for each one of those kids. Well, Bill Clinton, everyone's first black president, the one black people love, one of the major things he did, right? He cut welfare. He cut welfare and he cut food stamps. He's a Democrat. He was celebrated by black people. He made it to where if you have a kid, you get a check for that kid. But every kid you have after that, they don't give you more cash aid, as it's called. They will give you food stamps, but they will not give you money for any new births after the first one. Did that make all these welfare recipients say, you know what, I'm going to go get a job? Hell no. Boy, they started selling pussy, working under the table. It was all types of crazy stuff going on. Going to the gambling shack, selling the damn food stamps for cash so they could pay for things that couldn't be bought with food stamps. And when I talk about this culture, I'm talking about whites and blacks and Hispanics, not just blacks. But when people get entitlement programs, that literally reprograms the way these people think. So if people are recipients of their generational welfare recipients, you have many lost generations that their mind is broken to where it doesn't even come to the natural conclusions that it should arrive at when money is cut off or when money is removed, a significant amount of resources is removed from their income. It's either complain, commit criminal acts like selling your body or robbing people, or just go move outside and go sleep outside in a tent. And that is precisely why you have people in all of our cities and communities sleeping outside. It's not just because they're homeless or just because they're on drugs. It's because their mind is unable to arrive at the natural conclusion, at the natural response to losing resources. Hey, the rent went up in my apartment by $500. A normal person says, you know what? I need to find $500 extra a month so I can pay my rent. That's not what the ghetto queens and the ghetto queens think. They say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stay in this apartment. I'm not going to pay no rent at all because I can't pay it all. I'm going to pay none of my rent until they evict me, and then I'm going to go sleep outside. I'm not going to save my money so I can move into a place that might be less expensive. Either I'm going to migrate, move to Vegas, move to Lancaster, move to Victorville or some shit like that in the desert, which is going to present a new set of challenges, or I'm going to try to squat here, or I'm going to go try to live with someone else, or I'm just going to go sleep outside. And a lot of people have exhausted all those options. Rent is still going up. Bills are still going up. So they just say, you know what? I'm going to live in the cheapest place possible, a tent from Walmart. And that's what you got. That's why you got a lot of people. This is programming. This is not normal. This is not necessary. This is just a product of generational welfare, generational entitlement programs. And so we're going to use that point right there to switch over to our next topic. Trump cuts, significant cuts to Section 8, baby. It's been a long time coming. It is absolutely necessary. You can say what you want to, but I've been living around people on Section 8 for a very long time. And I'm telling you, it is a cancer among the Black community. It's really a cancer among all communities, but it is especially cancerous among the Black community. Trump cut that hole. I'm happy, and I can't wait to see the tears of these people who finally are going to have to pay rent like everybody else.
I'm Christina Owayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories. President Donald Trump has proposed a skinny budget that includes cutting federal government rent assistance by 40%, essentially ending the Section 8 voucher program. Trump proposes sending that money to individual states that can then design their own rental assistance programs based on their unique needs and preferences. In its request, the White House called the current system of federal rental assistance dysfunctional. The proposal would also impose a 2-year cap on rental assistance for able-bodied adults, sending a bigger share of the money to the elderly and disabled. In addition, the budget includes $25 million in housing grants for young people aging out of foster care. HUD Secretary Scott Turner said that the rental assistance programs have become, quote, too bloated and bureaucratic to efficiently function, and praised the restructuring of the aid programs. The budget has to be approved by Congress, but lawmakers are under pressure to cut excessive and wasteful spending from the federal government. With states taking control of the rental programs, they have the ability to make sure the same number of people are covered, giving the states more flexibility on how they can use the money. Another part of Trump's budget includes a shift on how homelessness funding is allocated, giving the money directly to the states rather than thousands of local nonprofits. That's what you need to know. In Dallas, Christina Aguayo.
Okay, so let's get this together. What is Trump doing? He's cutting Section 8. He's going to give the money instead directly to the states. Not the states. He's cutting Section 8 so that more money can go towards helping people who actually need housing assistance, elderly people, people in foster care, people with disabilities. He's really only cutting it for healthy, able-bodied adults who are receiving Section 8. I got friends, I got family members who are totally healthy, and they are receiving Section 8. Young folks, I got family members who've been on Section 8 since they was 20. They could jump on a dick, but can't go jump on a job in a job application. They in the club twerking and shaking and flirting and farting, and guess what? But you tell them, hey, you go get your job. No, I can't. I just get so nervous at a job interview. Girl, you was just on the pole last night. Pause. You was literally twerking on the damn stage while people was throwing money at you, and you ain't even no scripper. You on TikTok doing every dance. But you too nervous to sit down in front of somebody and tell them why they should give you a job. It's cap. Do you realize that right now there are so many ridiculous, over-bloated, nonsensical Section 8 and housing assistance programs? They got this thing where if your parent was on Section 8 and they die, they can literally pass that Section 8 to one of their no-good-ass kids. So imagine, I'm on Section 8 and I'm a loser, right? I drop dead, right? I'm dying. I'm dead. Section 8, just so they could keep all the money that they're stealing from the government, they will pass that Section 8 voucher that I'm on, they will pass that to one of my children. Don't matter if the children are healthy. Don't matter if the children are capable of working. They'll just say, oh, you dead? Give it to the next person in line. What? I know people who have been on Section 8 since they were in their 20s. They've been on Section 8 since they were in their 20s. They 40 now. Do you believe that that's what Section 8 was intended for? For able-bodied people to go from 20 to 40 years old still paying $200 a month for rent? Hell, I know people paying $13 a month for rent. It's waste. It's fraud. It is abuse, no matter how you try to paint it. And the worst part is it is enabling. It keeps people from living up to their true potential. Because I don't know if you know this, but Section 8 is based on income. So if you make over a certain amount of money, they reduce the amount of assistance the government gives you with your rent, for your rent. And if you make too much money, the government will cut assistance from you altogether. So what it does is it incentivizes people to stay in the lowest earning bracket so that they can keep their free rent. They're basically free housing. It's abuse. Bro, I know a girl right now, $13 a month for rent. $13 a month for rent. I'm not even joking with you. $13 damn a month for rent. Totally able-bodied. You know what she do? She works a security job under the table. Don't get no W-2 or nothing. I know people on Section 8 rolling around in Teslas right now. Tell me I'm lying. There are people on Section 8 rolling around in Teslas right now. You ever see that one Pukisha or that Puquan? You ever see one of these dudes and you like, bro, ain't even got no damn job. How bro be getting all these nice cars and all this stuff? And bro got a nice place to live. Bro on Section 8. Either him or his baby mama. This is what they do. Because as long as you're not reporting earnings of over a certain amount, they will continue to allow you to keep Section 8. They will continue to allow you to stay on Section 8. It's abuse. This person could be working and paying their own bills, and someone who needs it could be getting it. Do you know how many people can't get what they need because there's some loser taking up space on it who doesn't need it? This is how this stuff works. And they feel emboldened. They feel emboldened in their damn thievery.
So listen, if you
They feel emboldened in their thievery. They feel like they deserve this. I deserve to get free rent while everyone else is working, and people who need free rent, disabled people and stuff, can't get what they need. This is a system of generational entitlement. And black folks, you know, we know white folks are the ones who receive it the most. We know that. But black folks, they are the most, what would I say? We are the most, we have the most audacity, maybe audacious, I think is the word. We are the absolute most ridiculous when it comes to this.
Welcome back, Congress.
Because we love to show everybody what we got. A lot of other cultures, they don't really show off what they got. They'll have it. They know they got it. You'll never know. Black folks got to wear it on their wrist. They got to go get the new Mercedes S-Class. They got to go get the Rolex chain, the $900 weave and the red bottoms. Whole time this hoe going back home to a Section 8 apartment. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, because you know why? Carte blanche? Because they're going to have to start lowering their damn rent. B, landlords who rent based on Section 8 are going to flip out. Yeah, because they're going to have to lower the damn rent. You guys don't know this, but Section 8 also is directly responsible for these high-ass rent prices because the government will pay way more than you got for that same apartment. So why would the landlord take your money when they could get their guaranteed government money and it's way more than what you're going to pay? They're going to raise the rent up to get as much as they can from the government. This is a beautiful thing, bruh. Let me play this.
Welcome back. Congress hammering out key provisions of President Trump's big, beautiful bill, some of which could result in funding cuts to welfare programs. The president requesting certain cuts from the Housing and Urban Development Department, including more than $26 billion in state rental and grants and over $700 million in other assistance programs. Joining me now is Housing and Urban Development Secretary Scott Turner. Mr. Secretary, thank you so much for being here. What are you expecting in terms of these welfare cuts, and where do you expect the biggest cuts to be made?
Well, good morning, Maria. Thank you for having me. It's great to see you again. You know, the president, my colleagues from the Senate and the House, this administration, we're all taking inventory and getting our fiscal house in order. As you know, the previous 4 years before we came, there were no checks and no balances, no transparency, and a lack of good stewardship in America's budget and America's fiscal house. And so, along with my colleagues on the Hill, we here at HUD are taking inventory of every program so that we could be sufficient and effective in serving the American people. This is the first step when you talk about the skinny budget. It's the first step of many in this process. Our job here at HUD is to maximize the budget that we do have and make sure that we're serving America's people in the critical programs that we have.
So do you expect cuts to those welfare programs, and how significant will the cuts be? Where specifically are you expecting the cuts, sir?
You know, I think not so much cuts only, Maria, but also how we administer the programs. One thing at HUD, we're very mission-minded, and we understand, you know, our call here to serve the American people. We'll see when the budget comes out what we have to work with. Our job is to maximize this budget and to make sure that we're serving America's most vulnerable people as it pertains to housing and homelessness and disaster recovery.
Mr. Secretary, you co-wrote a New York Times op-ed along with RFK Jr., Brooke Rollins, Dr. Oz. You suggested that there should be new qualifications to receive the welfare benefits. You write, able-bodied adults receiving benefits must work, participate in job training, or volunteer in their communities at least 20 hours a week. So tell us about that. Is that a way to significantly cut back? How can the administration enforce those policies to reshape the welfare system?
Well, Maria, I think it's a paradigm shift. You know as well as I do, work restores dignity. Yeah. Work brings pride. You know, and our welfare system deviated from what it was intended to be from its origin. It was intended for the most vulnerable, to the most needy in our country. But now we've created welfare as a lifestyle in our country. And, you know, America is not a welfare state. America is a country of opportunity and a country of entrepreneurship. And so this will help us to encourage able-bodied people in America that are receiving government subsidies to work. You know, there was a study that came out.
I love Scott Turner, man. This guy's a very honest man. He's a respectable man, and he's about business. This man literally, you know, he made so much sense. He said, this is not a welfare state. This is not a welfare state. I want to listen to that little clip one more time.
From its origin, it was intended for the most vulnerable, to the most needy in our country. But now we've created welfare as a lifestyle in our country. And, you know, America is not a welfare state.
We've made welfare a lifestyle. We've literally made trying to get as much as you can from the government without working a job into a lifestyle. People be bragging. I got my Section 8. Oh, y'all, like, bro, and it's crazy because, like, you know, only Libra, I see you saying I was with Housing Authority when I was younger and took myself off. They choose where you live. I refuse. I don't know where you live, but hey, if you live in California, they literally give you a voucher. They give you a voucher. And when you get this voucher, right, you can go pick anywhere you want to live. There are people living on Ocean. Ocean is like downtown in Long Beach. Those apartments, for a 1-bedroom, it's about $4,000 a month. I kid you not. 2-bedroom is like $6,000, all the way up to $10,000. There are people on low-income housing, Section 8, living in those buildings. When I used to deliver like Instacart and stuff, I would be like, who the hell is ordering hot sauce and hot sauce and grits at 3 o'clock in the morning? Who lives on Ocean? Go up in that building. Bonquisha right up in there. Apartment smelling like dog doo-doo. She's in a freaking high-rise apartment on Ocean. Listen, you see them. Because when they come out the apartment, they stick out like a sore thumb. Yes. When they come out the apartment building, with their kids, with the snot noses and shit, they stick out like a sore thumb because the people who live down there are like entrepreneurs, people in tech, young people, people who work, make good money. They're usually like single. They don't have kids. So when you see this chick rolling out in a bonnet with like 4 kids, stomach hanging out, and she walking around in like in those little 99-cent store flip-flops with some sweats on and stains on her shirt, no bra, you know who you're dealing with. You know who you're dealing with. I'm just telling you, they're down there. They're living like kings and queens while you're working like a sucker for everything you got. Hey. Hello? Hey, have you are there people on like housing and Section 8 and shit living in those high-rise apartments downtown Long Beach? Those like expensive apartments?
I don't know. They claim no, but you was the one that told me that they have to make like a few units available for people.
Yeah, I know they got the law where they have to make a certain percentage of the units low income, but you ain't ever went down there and delivered to nobody and you like, what is this ghetto ass motherfucker doing down here?
All the time, right on Pacific and Ocean. There's so many ghetto folks in there. I'm like, how the hell they can afford? No, it's more. I'm like, how the hell can they afford to live up in here?
Man, I'm telling you, Bonquisha and her kids.
People, they got all their teeth like missing out of their mouth.
Hey, apartments that are like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month, right or wrong? Hello? All right, I'm gonna call you back. But look, I'm telling you, my friend does like deliveries. She's literally like, how the hell are these basically dope fiends living down here in these apartments? I kid you not. They are down there. And you're like, thinking, man, maybe if I could pinch my pennies together, budget a little better, maybe I could move down there. They down there. And guess what? They tear this shit up. They tear it up. They don't start behaving themselves. They don't say, oh, let me have some class and some dignity. Hell no. They tear that shit up, just like they do the projects. And they've made every apartment, every new building built, dedicate a certain percentage of their building to low-income people. So over here, you can live in the luxury shit for the low. CLR, yeah, every building had to set aside so many units to sell or rent at below market rate, right, at BMR. But my thing is this, there's no oversight over who gets to move in. Why don't you make them below market rate for people working with families who want to move from the hood into a nice area, who will appreciate it? 100% strength. Strength is talking about, he said, I'm Steph Curry about mine. They tried to build some bullshit like that in the neighborhood where Steph Curry, the point guard for the Warriors, the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry said, hell no. He said, hell no. Them folks was like, y'all not building that bullshit by our houses. We paying multi-millions of dollars to live over here, and y'all about to bring Pookie and Ray Ray over here? Hell to the no. As he should. But in the inner city, they don't give a damn how much your property value is going to drop. They're going to force Bonquisha onto you. They're going to force her onto you. And her boyfriend, Glocktavius. I kid you not. And there's nothing you could do about it. Because these people do this crap in the name, oh, we helping people. We got to help the people. We got to help people. What? I don't got to help no damn body. Who's going to help me? Who's going to help me? I'm going to play you some of the reaction from these people. And they have the audacity. Thank God for Donald Trump. Thank God he's cutting this shit. I'm going to play you some of the reactions from some of the people getting cut off. Now tell me which of these people look like they can't go work a job. They got phone jobs where you can sit and just talk on the damn phone all day. Which one of these people look like they can go? They can talk really well when it comes to keeping their entitlement benefits, but they can't go work at a job.
So listen, if you said that Trump was coming after housing, he's going to target Section 8, you was right. He's doing it right now. Apparently, word on the street is Trump will be coming after Section 8. Now listen, y'all going to learn about it as I learned about it. This is breaking news. I'm reporting this right now. I got right to it. Family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push out this content. Smash subscribe to join the tribe and ring the post notification bell as well. All right, let's get into this one. Man, that's a lot of different families. It's a whole lot of different families. I'm ready to see what's going to happen myself.
Okay, so did y'all hear that Trump is planning on slashing housing programs and cutting funding for housing programs to end, just cutting Section 8 altogether? Okay, so I'm going to give you the rundown. I have it in my notes because it's a lot. Okay, so it says Trump's 2026 budget plan would cut section housing by 43%, affecting 2.3 million households. He's giving control to the states through block grants, which I don't understand how that will work. Yeah. Okay. So he's giving control to the states. And then also lastly, it says, so you know how when you get on Section 8, you can be on there for however long? Well, he is capping that at 2 years for able-bodied people. What that means is if you are able to work, right, there's nothing wrong with you physically to where like you don't have any issues at all, you can only be on Section 8 for 2 years. After your 2 years, you have to do what everybody else does. Okay.
It's like this tone of negativity. They're saying it like that's a bad thing. No, that's a good thing. Why do you want a bunch of people fighting as hard as they can to stay poor so they can stay on Section 8?
And then lastly, the most important thing that people were concerned about was homelessness, because there's over 2.3 million people. Yeah, that's the news today for Kate. Love y'all. Bye.
2.3 million households. Do not let that go over your head. This is millions we're talking about. Millions of different families displaced on the government. This is why. Now we're seeing why.
I don't know if you guys heard the news, but Doge, led by Elon Musk, has proposed making significant cuts to the Section 8 program. Now, this will affect about 3.5 million low-income families and landlords and property owners who depend on those payments from Section 8. They are also talking about reducing the Section 8 staff by 50%, resulting in delayed payments, delays in inspection, and all things Section 8. Now, here's my personal opinion. Of course, I can sympathize and empathize for people who depend on those programs. Having family members and people within the community, I know how this news may feel scary to them. But the truth is, Section 8 was never created or intended for people to stay on for a lifetime. I do believe there should be time limits, maybe 5 years, so it gives you enough time to go back to school, find a trade, get some training where you can secure employment to get those housing.
Now, she brought up a really good point. This was never intended to be something that's permanent. But if you realize that by making this shit permanent, you can totally eliminate an entire group of people from the job market, from the housing, from the job market, from the education market, all this stuff, so that they can continue to be low-level, low-earning people. Guess what? They've weaponized it. And I honestly believe they've weaponized it against the black community. How many black people do you know on Section 8? Everybody I know on Section 8 is black. Well, that's probably because I'm black. But you know what that means? When you see someone who's an able-bodied person on Section 8, that means that you have one more black man or woman who is totally healthy and able-bodied, who has basically given up on their life, who basically has accepted and committed to this idea that they're never going to work too hard, because if they work too hard, they might earn too much and they might lose their safety net. Now, If you work hard to get on your feet,
get housing,
and you lose everything, there's nothing saying you can't go back and reapply for Section 8, but there's going to be limits, as there should be,
where you can go in the market and pay those competitive rent prices. Also, it gives an opportunity for the new people in a new group who can benefit from these programs to be ushered in. Also, with those who are disabled or senior citizens, I don't believe those Section 8 programs should be touched for them because there's no way they can go out in this market and afford that market rental prices. So if you are on Section 8, know someone on Section 8, Doge is putting you guys on notice. Get your affairs in order because this program will not look like what you've been accustomed to within the upcoming months. And that's just the truth.
So,
bruh, listen, it's so bad in California. California is like ground zero of the bullshit. It's so bad in California. They give Section 8 to anybody who stay in a shelter. Like there were people who were paying rent who left their apartment, moved into a homeless shelter, because if you stay in a shelter, you get Section 8 in 30 days. We literally have millions of people on Section 8 in California. People look at that shit like they look at that shit like it's an achievement. Hey girl, I got my Section 8. Like what? I know people right now, y'all not gonna believe this. There's these nice ass high-rise buildings they just built downtown LA. Nice on 6th Street. There's people, they took hood motherfuckers and put them in those apartments for free. And they said, as long as you don't make over $3,500 a month, you can stay in there without paying no rent. As long as you don't make over $3,500 a month, you can stay in there without paying no rent. So you just go. So what these people do, many women live in there, they just resort to prostitution. They make as much money as they want and they never got to report it. So they get to stay rent, like damn near rent free. You got people in there who work low-level jobs. I'm going to stay at the coffee shop. This the white folks. You ever see them white people, you like, damn, these dudes work bullshit jobs, but they always got money. They're on Section 8. They're on Section 8. They are totally fine with working at the dog groomer at the age of 50 because they're making enough money to go buy the little bullshit they want while not making enough to lose their Section 8. This is what's going on legitimately. They're stealing. They're stealing.
Did you all see that under Trump's new plan, they're getting rid of Section 8 and welfare? Wasn't most of the voters who voted for Trump on Section 8 and welfare? Y'all thought a billionaire was gonna only keep his hatred on blacks, browns, and illegals. And now your nana finna be outside because her welfare ain't gonna get covered the first of the year. But no, for real, the jokes write themselves. Congratulations, MAGA.
These people are so damn ignorant. Most of the people who voted for Trump were not on Section 8 and welfare. Where's that statistic? I mean, she looks decent, but she's a retarded bimbo. The jokes just write themselves. Well, listen, you don't see one conservative person complaining about this shit. They're the ones complaining, but they're trying to say we're the ones that are getting hurt by it. A hit dog is going to holler, period. A hit dog is going to holler, period. But they trying to, this is deflection. This is projection. Oh, see, man. No, it's her and her family members who are on Section 8. The people she know. That's why it's news to her. Who gives a damn about Section 8? I don't. I'm not on Section 8. I know good family members who are on Section 8 need to get kicked off. The only people complaining about this are these liberals, these people in these different communities where they have said, you know what, I'm just cool with being a loser as long as I get cheap rent. So when I get my check, I could go spend it on beer and weed. These people are dumb as hell. These people are ignorant. But it's MAGA. MAGA, y'all didn't know. You don't know what MAGA did or thinks. You just know what your ignorant ass think.
Congratulations. Is America great again?
So let's have a high-level conversation. The Trump administration proposed a bill that's going to eliminate Section 8 housing and let the states come up with their own rental aid program instead. Now, if you're a Black person, you read this post and you automatically associate that with other Black people, that's more of the problem for me. Why? Because why are we as a community always associating ourselves with things that are lower class? So this is the most updated information, all right, on the government site. And again, across the board, you see, all right, it's pretty clear. All right, it's not just Black people, it's pretty clear. So when I hear the words, Section 8 and low income and, misfortune and underprivileged, and I see Black people always correlating that to other Black people, I'm like, hey, that's why are we doing that? You know what I'm saying? Because clearly there's a lot of communities that are on the same path. It's just that mentally, when we see ourselves, we're not seeing the greatness. You know what I'm saying? When you look in the mirror, you should be projecting nothing but positive energy, nothing but high level conversation. Understand that we are the beginning and the end, the alpha and omega. Daily mathematics. Peace.
The Most High creates the beginning and the end. We're going to leave that there, though. But look, I'm not just saying Black people. This is for everybody going through misfortune. Everybody that's lower class, they're all going to be affected. We know it's not just Black people. It's lower class. It has no race. It's not a race thing. It's not a color thing. It's just those that are making less than a certain tax bracket. That doesn't qualify you to be in middle class. The next step above poverty is middle class.
Say and talk about right now, but a lot of y'all about to be mad. But I told y'all we have to start pushing ownership. Look, see, this was happening. White House proposes eliminating Section 8 vouchers and cutting rental assistance by 40%. Now, look, this all over media. I don't know how true this is, but all I'm going to say, I told y'all, man, we have to stop leaving our destiny and our livelihood in these people's hands. We have to start getting out and trying to think how we could do better for ourselves. See, some people been on Section 8 for 20, 30 years and are passing on to they kids like it's a legacy. You feel what I'm saying? So now with the government, you leaving your kids and everybody self in their hands. The government is saying we cutting back. Especially y'all saying Trump. Remember first we was talking, we don't know if this is true or not, but now it's all over media. Y'all checking this. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. But that's what I'm saying. This is why I'm pushing ownership. That's why I wear these shirts by the block back. That's why I'm pushing. We have to start doing better. We can't leave our hands, our life, and our destiny in these people's hands, especially when cost of living is so goddamn high, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this, man. What do y'all think about this? What are y'all thoughts? I'm just saying. Listen, this is going to have the perfect impact. This is going to have the perfect impact that is needed. It's going to have the impact that is needed to get many, and I'm going to speak on Black people, but also this applies to white people as well. Many people who are sitting up, accepting this idea that they are just destined to be losers, destined to be less fortunate, destined to not have anything because they are stuck in the poverty trap, where instead of looking for ways to improve their lives, they are just looking for ways to keep from making enough money, making so much money that they end up losing their benefits. Guys, put some comments in the comments because I got this. There's this beta feature right now where they show the comments from the chat. They show it on the screen. I'm using it right now, but I'm trying. Let me see. I'm using it right now, but I don't know if you guys can see it because it's kind of small. So I wanna make sure you guys see. Oh, you guys can see it. Is it big or is it small? If I exit full screen, you guys can see it. Okay, cool. It's so damn small. I'm looking at my phone. It looks small as hell. I wish there was a way you could make that bigger, but whatever. But all right, y'all see it? Cool. I don't know why it's so small on my phone. Looks terrible. But y'all can see our comments right there. Okay, it's a good size. Okay, cool. I see it. They need that for the TV. It's small though. Good size. Yeah, I don't know why it's so damn small, but I'm exiting this. But yeah, so yeah, it's super small to me. Okay. So yeah, this whole situation is gonna be a good situation. You gotta love Trump. You gotta love the HUD Secretary Scott Turner. These are men. These are men running the country. They're doing what they need to do to repair this country because this country we've been operating at a loss for far too long. And when that happens, that means the American people, you and I, we're getting screwed over. Everybody is living it up around the world at our expense. And it's time for the waste, fraud, and abuse to stop. And it's time for the American dream to become a reality once again.
America is a country of opportunity and a country of entrepreneurship. And so this will help us to encourage able-bodied people in America that are receiving government subsidies to work. You know, there was a study that came out, almost 50% of households that are receiving HUD funds, almost 50%, not one person in that household is working. And that has to change. That culture, that paradigm has to change. At HUD, this is common sense compassion. We want to help people and invigorate and encourage people to work, able-bodied people to work. We're not talking about the elderly. We're not talking about those that are disabled. Able-bodied, able-minded people that are receiving HUD funding should go to work to restore dignity, Maria. Maria, you get up early in the morning and you work, you serve. And so we want to give other people and encourage others the same opportunity. And so this is a great step forward, working with our colleagues at Agriculture and also Health and Human Services and Dr. Oz to be kind of a catalyst to change the trajectory of the lives of people in our country.
I think it's a great point that you make, Secretary, because work is empowering. And, you know, it also checks the box of a way to reassess these programs and perhaps save a little money where you're looking to actually align with colleagues in the House and Senate trying to come up with spending cuts for this big, beautiful bill to get the president's agenda passed. But you make the right point, and that is work is empowering. Why not, align with people so that they can see the benefits of that rather than just being so dependent on government? President Trump has said many times he wants private enterprise to rule the day in this economy.
That's exactly right. And Maria, you hit it on the head. I was visiting one of our public housing authorities, the residents that live there in a city in our country. And I was visiting with them about the deplorable conditions that they live in one of our public housing authorities, which we're taking inventory of all of those as well. And I heard the story, the testimony of one young lady said, I have been living in this public housing authority in this project since 1973. That means she has been living there since birth or shortly thereafter. And so because of that, her mother, probably her grandmother, raised her there. She's living there. Now she's raising her children there. And so that's the paradigm that we want to change. My parents, neither one of them went to college, but they both instilled in me a tremendous work ethic, and it has made our family stronger. And that's what we want here, not just at HUD, but from the administration, our country overall, is to have young people to see those coming before them, working hard, providing for them families, because if young people are incentivized to work, that will change our culture. It'll change our workforce. It'll increase earnings, increase family stability. And so that's what we're after here at HUD. That's what the president and our administration is after. And Maria, I believe that it is beneficial for the posterity of our country, the rehabilitation and the reconciliation of our families.
No doubt about it.
I'm excited about it.
Secretary, it's a great point. It's a great angle to be focused on and has so many impacts. Thank you, sir. Great to talk with you this morning.
You're
Secretary
welcome.
Scott Turner. Quick break and then summer travel season. Well, it's right around the corner. Many Americans ready to.
Okay, so this is just a good thing all around. Look at the lady who Scott Turner talked to. She's been living in the projects since 1973. Since she was born, she's been living in the projects. So that means let's think, if she had brothers and sisters, all that stuff, all these healthy people then been born into your family. And now you're here raising your children in the same government housing that you were born in. That is the problem. The problem is not generational poverty. The problem is generational welfare, where people are basically born into the welfare lifestyle. So they never really believe that they can do anything else. We've created a welfare culture in our country, a welfare lifestyle in our country, and it's time for it to end. We got carte blanche saying, we'll talk about the waves of homelessness that are going to be created. Right here. Speak on the wave of homelessness that is going to take place after Section 8 ends. We have a wave of homelessness right now, and Section 8 is exploded with free handouts and programs. But you know what's funny? Once we get all the healthy able-bodied people off of welfare, we might actually be able to get more homeless people who need welfare, who need Section 8, who need HUD into a place to live. That's why you have all this homelessness, because you have people who don't need Section 8 occupying homes that are designed to go to people who are actually in need of a place to stay, who actually can't work, are disabled, have some type of illness, mental illness or whatever, to where they can't hold down a job and they need government housing assistance. So I think it's going to have the opposite effect of what carte blanche is saying. So now, speaking of people who need help, we're going to move on to the tea right now. Papoose, husband of mediocre rapper Remy Ma, has finally broken his silence and decided to expose this chick who has humiliated this man for the past several years. If for anyone who doesn't know, Remy Ma is a rapper who was married or was with another rapper named Papoose. She ended up going to jail for 7 years. This man held her down, went to visit her in prison every single day, put money on her books, just really was a amazing support system, took care of their daughter, did everything he was supposed to do as a mate, only to have this no good skank cheat on him with a bum ass rapper named Hammer, right? So Papoose ends up getting into it with Hammer, ends up knocking the guy out. They go to a therapist. They both say they want to work it out. She says she wants to work it out. She wants her family, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, no sooner did they get home, guess what? From the therapist, Remy Ma is cheating on him again with the same battle rapper. A broke-ass dude making no money. She's cheating on her husband, he's a boss. He's a baller. She's cheating on her husband, who's a baller and a boss, with some loser who can't even pay her bills, let alone his bills, or his bills, let alone her bills. So Papoose he's really a silent kind of guy. He doesn't really do a lot of talking in public, but he's just gotten to the point where he's fed up. She's accused him of not seeing his daughter, accused him of being broke, saying he doesn't take care of his kids, his daughter. And I guess Papoose has just finally had enough. He came out in spite of the fact that he's in a very happy relationship with beautiful female champion boxer Clarissa Shields. He had to come out and throw some shots at his wife, soon to be his ex-wife, Remy Mayonnaise.
Follow me. They know I've always been pro-black and had knowledge of self since I was a teenager. So I've represented that since I came in the door before I even knew you. Okay? So don't ever talk about black love and what else she said? I gotta remember. So first and foremost, very bipolar, very delusional. This is a person who will sit in front of you. She will post that live And she'll say later, I didn't do that. I wasn't on live. You'll be sitting there like, huh? She will say something to you and 10 minutes later say, I never said that. Everybody, and I don't want to talk bad about her, man. That's something that I never wanted to do. That's why when this took place, when she first got caught cheating with the lane, I brought it to her attention. I said, first of all, I couldn't even believe that she was stooped that low because he's such a cornball. Y'all see it, y'all say it yourself. I'm like, yo, there's no way it's this nigga. Because I'm trying to figure it out. Like, damn, who is this nigga? Because, you know, we were living a normal, peaceful life, raising our child like we planned to, and she started to move real strange. So in the process of her moving strange, it became stranger and stranger, worse and worse. So I said, damn, I gotta see what's going on. What the hell is going on? I started to do my research. As I did my research, I found out she was cheating with the lane. So once I find out, I brings it to her attention. I said, mind you, I didn't knock him out because he slept with my wife. Like I told y'all before, the reason I knocked him out was because he shook my hand and then slept with my wife. It's a difference. But let me tell y'all this. So I bring it to her attention that I found out that she's sleeping with the lane. She tells me, him? Why him? Why him out of all people? Not Goods, not Hitman. My word is my bond is my life. I should give my life before my word shall fail. This was her exact words. Him? Why would I deal with him? I said, Rem, I know you're dealing with the lane. I know it. First and foremost, how I first fell on my radar that she was cheating with the nigga, he was running his mouth and it came back to me. They said, yo, Pat, this nigga out here telling niggas he fucking your wife. I said, word. So I did a little bit more research, connect a couple more dots. I finds out. She tells me this. Okay, I finds out. Mind you, it's not the first time she cheated. You know what I mean? I continued the marriage because I live by my wedding vow. I try to live by my wedding vows. Richer for poor, sicker for health, sickness and health. You know what I'm saying? Better for worse, or death to us part. So you try to work through things. Anybody out there who's married, y'all understand. So I found out she's cheating with the lane. I bring it to her attention. Of course, we have an altercation, like basically argument back and forth or whatever transpired, right? Okay. She decides, and I decide that we're going to go to therapy, but she brings it to my attention, to be honest. She said, I think we should do therapy. I said, okay. Even though I'm private and I don't like to speak to people about my personal business, that was a very, very difficult thing for me to do. But I said, you know what? Let's do the therapy.
So this guy is a guy who's pretty much willing to do anything to salvage his marriage. You know, a lot of women, when they cheat, or some guys when they cheat too, they'll say stuff like, we need to go to therapy. Why the fuck do I need to go to therapy if I wasn't the one cheating? You clearly need to go to therapy because the issue you're dealing with is a you problem. But one thing people love to do is they love to make a them problem, a us problem. We need to go to therapy. Why? So you can sit in front of the therapist and tell them all the reasons or all the things I did that made you justify in your mind you cheating on me. That's basically what therapy is. Because most of these therapists, they're going to side with the female no matter what. Most of them are females, and even the males side with females because they know that that's the ones who always hollering, yo, we need to go to therapy. But do they get anything out of therapy? Probably not, because what are they going to get from someone they don't even know that they were unable to get from someone they've been sitting up fucking all these years and months? It's just a way to me to, like, for some people, like Remy Ma, it's just a way for them to try to throw you off of their scent so they could go keep doing what they were doing. They want you to expose how you caught them, how you found out, all that, so they'll just know what to avoid doing the next time when they're cheating, in my opinion. And I could be wrong. I would have never agreed to go to therapy with this chick. after this dude was doing all the shit he was doing, how unwaveringly, unshakably faithful and loyal he was, bro should be getting a prize, dude. She should be rubbing this dude's feet, moisturizing his cuticles every night. The way he held her down while she was in prison for 7 years, paid all the bills, took care of everything. All she did was came and really just gave the one thing she had to offer, which was coochie. She gave it to someone else. This is just diabolical.
We go to the therapist. The therapist's first question is, do you guys want a divorce or do y'all want to work it out? Me and her both said we want to work it out. So when she comes on live and say, we haven't slept in the bed since 2022, and to make it seem like and fabricate a story like we had some agreement, you such a liar. There was no agreement. When I found out you was with the lame, you denied it. You shitted on him. Basically said, yo, why would I be with him? Why do you think I would be with him? And then you wanted to go to therapy. So check it out now. Check it out. So when we go to therapy, the therapist says, do y'all want to get a divorce or do y'all want to work it out? Me and her both said we want to work it out. I'm going to be honest. Because honestly, I didn't want to not live under the same roof as my 5-year-old. I love all my kids the same, but when you have children, and everyone knows that about me. Everybody who know me, y'all know my character. Y'all know her character. Very rude, very disrespectful, not just to me, to everyone. But that speaks volumes. I didn't want to we planned to raise her with both parents. That was the plan. So I did not want to not live under the same roof with my little girl. I was there from the moment she came out of the womb, and I intended, and I always told her, I want to be there to the moment we take her to her prom. So when she graduates high school, college, get her degrees, I want to be there to take my daughter to her prom. And I told her that. So I never wanted to leave from under the roof with my baby. That's why I stayed around for this nonsense. And I don't want to go away from the point. Okay, so we did the therapy. The therapist gave us that option. We both said we want to work it out. She said, this is the plan. I'm going to give y'all a plan to work it out. She said, Pat, because like I told y'all previously, once I seen that she was cheating, like she was moving real strange, I'm talking about leaving for hours at a time. Every time I questioned it, it was a lie, just strange behavior. So once I noticed that she was moving strange, I started to do my research. So the therapist said, because she told the therapist, mind you, she got all these lies to y'all about me. The only thing she told the therapist was, oh, he doesn't trust me. He's going to keep looking behind me and trying to, find out what I'm doing. But the only reason why I was looking behind her is because she was moving strange. So I agreed to, not show distrust or whatever. And the therapist told her, Remy, since you're saying that it's only business with this dude moving forward, but y'all have a last event coming up, after this event, you're going to cut all ties with this individual. This is what the therapist said.
Now, what did I just tell you? The therapy is just so that they can get you off of their scent. Like, you know what they're capable of. You know what they're willing to do. They need somebody to force you or to basically convince you that you need to stop operating based on what you know about this person, right? Because cutting the dude off should be automatic. She should have been said, I'm going to cut this person off. I'm not going to deal with this person. You don't need a therapist to tell you that. Because if you ever cheat, you know that if you're going to seek forgiveness, the first thing you need to do is cut off the person you cheated with. Why did you need to go to a therapist for that? She literally went to a therapist so he could think that she was going to stop doing what she was going to do. But let's be realistic. We already knew what she was not. We all like, I know, I would have known that she wasn't going to stop doing what she's doing. But this confirms so many things that men say about women. And I'm not punching down on women. There's men who do stuff like this too. But I'm telling you guys, and this is my warning to women, if you're married, right, and you're a little bit older and you out here mess with some dude, these dudes are not fucking with you to marry you. Any man who sleep with you and know you're married, he's not with you to be with you. He's using you for what he needs or what he wants. And the first thing you need to do if you do that is assess, what do I have that he needs? A woman is only as good. A woman is only good for what she's good for. I always say that. As far as he is concerned, what am I good for? A man is only good for what he's good for. So if you cheating on your wife with some little scuzzy, you better be asking yourself, what am I good for this chick? How is she benefiting from messing around with me? And unless you ask yourself that, you're gonna, I mean, if you willingly get used, like you like, I'm cool with being used. I'm using her, she's using me, she's giving me the cootie, giving me some new pussy, and I'm taking her out to movie dates, or she likes to go to the ice skating rink or whatever, right? Okay, we both know what we're using each other for. But if you think that someone is messing with a married person just because they're so in love with that person and they can't get over that person, trust me, a woman or man who is really in love with you, they want exclusivity. They don't want to share you with somebody else. So if they find out you're married, they're gonna be like, yo, we gotta get rid, you gotta end that for this to be something. But if they're like, yeah, go run back and slurp him up, and then tomorrow come kiss me in the mouth and slurp me up, that person is just using you. They see something they could get out of you, and Hammer knew that with Remy Ma, he was gonna get a lot of exposure. He was gonna be able to be on her battle rap circuit, right? Making money. He was gonna get the expertise that she brings to the table by way of knowing Papoose, who's been like president of like record labels and stuff like that. He was benefiting because since he stopped messing with Remy, have you heard anything about him? It was all really one-sided. And what was she getting out of him? Sweet nothings? Somebody making her feel special because to him, that's some new cooch. I've been locked up a long time, and sex with my husband is cool, but I want more sex because I haven't been able to have it for a long time. That's pretty much all she was getting. And what was she sacrificing? Her relationship with her husband, her ability to be her family, that she had. So I tell people this all the time, women and men, but especially women. You out here thinking, you hot shit, but 99% of the time, you're just getting used. And then when you realize I'm getting used, you're going to be looking at the things that you sacrifice like, damn, man. Damn, I should have thought that through a little better. People make mistakes. You might have one mistake where you have sex with somebody else, but to continue to entertain that relationship, even after your husband found out, just skullduggery, man. Just dirty, just filthy.
She said, Pap, because I told Rim back then, before I even clipped him, I said, when I catch son, I'm putting him down. I'm putting him down. He violated, you know what I'm saying? And what I noticed, when I found out, I noticed that every time me and her stepped out and made an appearance, he'd go post on his gram, do little sucker shit. He'd go make a post on his story about us. So I'm watching this. Mind you, y'all, I'm not saying nothing the whole time. I know this nigga sleeping with my wife, but I ain't saying nothing. Feel me? I'm like, I'm gonna be quiet. I ain't saying nothing. Son doing sucker shit on the gram. That's cool. I ain't paying that no mind. We go to therapy. The therapist come up with the plan. We put the plan together. The therapist says she has this event coming up at Sony Hall, which was the battle between him and Hitman. She said, you can go to the event, right? But don't knock him. Don't do nothing to this individual. She said, I said, I'm gonna go to the event. I'm gonna fall back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do nothing. After the event, she's supposed to leave the dude alone, right? I go to the Hold on a second, man. Give me 1 second. Matter of fact, I know what I'm gonna do. 1 second.
All right, let me while he's fumbling around, let me get these super chats. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the support. First, shout out to my boy JP from the LB Sticks and Stones Clothing for the $5 holler in the Cash app. Guys, if you contributed to the PayPal, please let me know so I can log in and shout you out. Next, I think we got one way at the top. Dang. I should have been reading these at the moment. Shout out to my boy MJ for the $20 holler. Brandon, let me get some raffle tickets, nigga. You are here, my brother, and you have 5 entries for the raffle. Just in case you guys did not know, we are doing a raffle. I am doing a raffle giveaway on my birthday. To enter the raffle, you must give a $5 contribution of $5 or more. For each $5 you give, if it's 20, you will get, if you give $20, you will get 4 entries. If it's just $5, you will get 1 entry, and they're cumulative. They will be added up. Like if you donate $5 20 times, you will have 20. You have 20 times the chance of winning the raffle. So contribute to the stream to be entered to win the raffle. And I've already talked about the prize. It will be a custom made backpack from a company called Rift Africa. When I go to Africa, I will have this bag made, and I'm going to get me one made, and I will also get you one made, and I will ship it to you once I get back to the United States of America. So I will be announcing the winner on July 25th. When I return back from the motherland, you will receive your custom made backpack. And these backpacks cost about $300 in Africa, but they are worth about $1,000 in America. Alan HB, shout out to you, my brother. I've already written you down for 2 entries. The stop snitching culture doesn't exist in white areas. They tell on everyone around them for the sake of their safety. We stay silent, remain trapped. No group needs to snitch more than us. I agree with you 100%, my brother. And thank you, and you have been entered into the raffle, and you right now have 2 entries. Let's go down. All right. My boy Hakeem, Turney Tyke. In Minnesota, we got luxury Section 8 buildings. If you make more than $36K, you're asked out. Meanwhile, rent is $1,400 for a 1-bedroom in an older construction. Hey, it be like that though. You got people now. You got people fighting not to make $36,000 a year. They working hard. Like you could live a pretty good life making $35,000 a year if you don't got to pay rent. That's the crazy thing. Thank you, my brother. Shout out to my boy Premium Network. Yo, drop the link. Premium Network, you have been entered into the raffle. You currently have 1 entry. Hakeem, you are at 3 entries, my brother. So, guys, contribute to the stream so you can be entered to win the raffle. Also, you can contribute via Cash App or PayPal. You will still be entered in. You will still be entered to win the raffle and the prize, obviously. But let me. I'm gonna get Premium Network. Bring my brother up here. What's up, my brother? You got some comments about this, and we are gonna get back into the video. JC, okay, you in the PayPal? I'm gonna look it up and shout you out. Premium Network. Go ahead, my brother.
Hey, can you hear me good?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. So, is it safe to say this whole Black Love BS is just BS? Because, like, I mean, I remember when Papoose and Remy first got together back in the mid 2000s, and like ever since then, I don't know about you, but to me, back when I seen Remy in that whole Lean Back video, she looked trash to me. You know what I'm saying? And like that whole Brooklyn ghetto mentality. You really think a chick like that would really be loyal to somebody like that?
Man, I mean, you never know, bro. I mean, people change. I think her going to jail had a lot to do with it. You know, some people have like FO, what is it? FOF, what is it called? FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. You know, some people feel like they might have missed opportunities that they would have had if they had not went to jail. Um, you know, this guy was in jail. The funny thing about him was he was visiting this chick every single day in jail. Maybe she just got tired of bro. You know, like, damn, like I've been seeing this dude every day for 7 years. Maybe she fell out of love with him, you know. Maybe they had arguments while she was in jail. And she was just like, I want to try to see what else I could get. Or maybe she just was in a rough spot, you know, being with these rappers alone after these rap battles, being in close proximity with them, because I think he was like her artist, and they probably just had sex. I don't think I think anyone is capable of cheating. I don't think it's something exclusive to black females. I think all people have their type, and to some people, Remy Ma is absolutely gorgeous. I just think that you just got to do what you got to do and make sure that, you know, it doesn't happen to you. And if it does, you're going to have to figure out a way to navigate through it. What do you think?
Well, I always looked at Remy as a grimy type of person, you know what I'm saying? And like Papoose, like I said, I think Papoose is just wrapped up in the whole pro-black power BS, and like he's not realizing, like, bro, like this whole black love BS, like you can still get cheated on promoting that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it for your own people. I'm pretty sure if he would have like went out with somebody, like for example, what's her face, the boxer chick, Clarissa Shields or whatever.
Oh yeah, she's
I
cool.
mean, yeah, she's cool, but like you notice he has a tight. She looks just like Remy Ma a little bit, just like the great value version of Remy Ma. Though
They do not look the same. Stop.
they're looking not the same, but they're looking at the same exact realm of type of person.
What? They're both black?
No, they look the same a little bit.
Maybe
Same thing
they
with using
have,
the block Kevin the Papoose. They look the same too a little bit.
but Easy the Block Captain is not the person she cheated with.
No, it's about wait. Remy Ma didn't cheat with Easy the Block Captain.
No, she cheated with some guy named Hammer. Maybe.
So
Let me
wait.
see.
So she didn't sleep with.
Well, let me see. Let me see. Oh yeah, Easy the Block Captain. I thought she was cheating with Hammer though, or is that the same person?
Nah, I never heard him do no Hammer before. That's crazy.
I thought it was Hammer. My bad. Easy the Block Captain. Okay.
Yeah, but Pap and Easy the Block, they look again. They don't look like identical, but they look like the same type of character build. The same thing with Clarissa and Remy Ma a little bit. So like they both like each other's aesthetics, and they look exactly like their counterparts a little bit, you know.
Well, I don't think they really look alike. I think I really like Clarissa Shields for him. Just the type of woman she is, that's the type of woman he needs. I've always been kind of warned about like those island chicks, like the Jamaican chicks and stuff. In New York, I've heard that they're kind of like, if they ain't really like head over heels in love with you, it's kind of like they'll just play you like it ain't no big deal. So I think it's a lot
But
of
that's
cultural.
every woman though.
I mean, yeah, but I think Clarissa is one of those chicks who loves you. If she love you, she love you. Like she's all over you. She's like shamelessly
You know
in love
what?
with you.
You know what? Also, she's from the South, right?
She's from Flint, Michigan.
Okay, well, so Midwest. So like, I feel like New York people, they just kind of grimy. Most of majority of them, because like I remember working at this one job, right? And like these three dudes from New York or New Jersey rather, right? They came to Washington State and they was talking about how comparing New York to Washington, out here, everybody will like smile when they walk past you, like, "Hey, how's it going?" And like the people from New Jersey was like, "Why are you smiling at me for? What's so effing happy? Like, why out there in New Jersey, New York, they don't do that. They just get out of my way. Watch where you going. You know what I'm saying? Like they're always like hostile towards each other. But when they go to like places like Cali or Oregon, Washington, Nevada, most of the people out here, we walk past you, we smile and stuff like that. So it's like out there in New York, it's more of like a survival of the fittest. Like you gotta, like the traffic out there is terrible. Like on the subway, people getting choked out to death, people getting stabbed up, and people like what I'm saying, fighting and what I'm saying, roasting you for no reason. So it's like
Fighting and
the people in
roasting
New
you.
York, bro, they be doing that. They be doing that, man. I don't know
Premium
what's up with
Network,
these
don't you got a
young
white
girls.
girlfriend?
No, I'm single. That's a bill. I'm cool, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just think there's good people everywhere. Like I used to date this girl from New
Yeah,
York.
you're right. You're right.
I used to date this girl from New York. She was a little bit crazy though. But I do remember she used to like make sure I had everything I need. She used to like fly. She was like, she came out here to like visit her family and stuff. I met her. So she started like flying out here to like just visit me. When I tell you that girl's out here every weekend, like clockwork, getting on flights, coming to see me. Hey, baby, like I'm gonna come to your job, bring you something. Like she would leave the airport and I would be like, go to my house and wait for me. She'd be like, no, I'm coming to your job. She would like come to my job and just like wait for hours in my car until I got off work. Like she was just really like a hard lover type chick. And I remember when I dumped her, man, she flipped out, bro. She flipped out. Okay. Like I think those girls are just like either they really, really fucking with you or they're really not fucking with you, you know? And I think Remy I think Papoose has always been a lame to her. I think she never respected him. That's what I
Yeah,
think.
and also like I remember like how Papoose, because like I watched a lot of interviews back, like I watched a lot of Smack DVDs and Sub-Zero. Like
Damn.
you was talking about like the first time they met, and like they didn't really go. They didn't even go on like an actual date. They went. They was like in a car sitting and smoking, and Papoose was still trying to get on to the industry. Well, Remy Ma was already in the industry with Terror Squad, and he was asking questions. But what about this rapper? What about that rapper? And she would go, oh, he's fake. He's real. He's real. He's fake. He's fake. He's lame. He's a snitch. And like they didn't really have like a traditional relationship like that, you know. And then she got locked up, and then Remy
Yeah, it
Ma,
wasn't really
Remy
like
Ma deep down,
it wasn't like a real romantic relationship.
yeah, it was like a yo son. It was like one of those like New York, Dipset, Gina type love. You know what I'm saying? Like just gangster.
But when I see bro with Clarissa, like I just love this for him. I think all men need a woman like this. I mean, she might not be the best looking girl, but she's very sexy to me. But just the way they interact and just the way she looks at this dude and she lights up when she's around him. I mean, I think he's found a happy place and he just needs to leave that trash in the garbage.
Pat, is Johnny Boy Boxing at Fight Hype. Clarissa, I need to know the predictions of the fight with you and your opponent. Yeah.
I can only speak on if she comes unprepared, she'll get knocked out early. If she comes prepared, she'll get knocked out late.
Absolutely. Now, Pat, I gotta get a verse from you, man. I gotta hear you. We gotta hear you spit, man.
I'm with Clarissa Shields to spend time wisely is a skill. Doing everything that losers won't, but winners will. We ain't chasing a good time. We just sit and chill. Eating, watching Michael B. Jordan. That movie Sin is ill. When the love is genuine, you can tell it's a different feel. Babyface was right on that song. She got that whip appeal.
Whoa.
I mean, when you writing raps, bro, when you spitting off the top of your head like that, you really fucking with, you really, you vibing with this chick. And she was just so happy. You wish you had
You know
that
what? I
type of
will say this
relationship.
about Papoose. will say this about Papoose. He is loyal though, because like I mean, if you go to like the women's prisons, ain't nobody waiting for them. Ain't nobody visiting them. If anything, a lot of men are snitching on women. And like you go to the men's jail, you got it's lined up. All the women's over there and waiting with their kids and stuff like that, waiting to see their man or whatever the case may be. So I will salute Papoose for like being loyal and holding Shorty down. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like he was a faithful type of individual.
But like,
from what I'm hearing.
I mean, his relationship right now, what would you say about the relationship now? Would you say this looks like a good relationship for him?
It does. I mean, but then again, it's all cameras. I mean, behind closed doors, who knows?
They
But
just
I mean,
rolled
what
up
we can
to her
see.
in the gym, though. Nah,
Yeah,
Clarissa
but it's still it's cameras, though.
She don't seem like the type who will tolerate no bullshit behind closed doors, bro. She look like she'll beat your ass for real.
You know what? There's a couple of female boxers who still got their ass beat by their boyfriend.
Yeah, but he's
But
a
it
skinny
is what
ass
it is,
thing.
though.
He can't. She's so pretty. She's pretty, bro. She dresses. What I'll
Also,
say.
wait, hold on, wait. Isn't Ike Turner smaller than Tina Turner?
Hell no.
What? Nah, I think Tina Turner was low key kind of swole though.
Man, you looking at a movie, fool. She ripped. She was kind of ripped up, but she wasn't bigger than Ike Turner. I mean, but this is a good look for bro. They look happy together. Like
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, hey, you know what?
She's kind of cute,
Yeah, you know
though.
what? Yeah.
When she got the makeup on, she don't look so crazy. It's just that with
You know what, though?
Clarissa, you see her while she's training a lot, so she be looking a little whoops sometimes.
You know what though? But like, I mean, like because Papoose seemed like a clean cut cop. I mean, I haven't really heard of Papoose in a while, right? But like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't smoke or drink, and if he does, it's like to like the bare minimum. And like, I feel like being a boxer, like Clarissa, she's not gonna be smoking or drinking either. So like, I think both of them are gonna be on the health tip. They're not gonna be doing no drugs. They ain't gonna be smoking no weed or popping no pills and nothing like that. So
Right, like they're good for each other. Like I
yeah, they
feel
are.
like
Though.
they're
Yeah, they
good
are.
for each other. And I feel like
Well,
Remy Ma, she's miserable now because bro found somebody better than her, really.
And Brendan, I wanted to talk to you about your interview with that white dude on Adam 22 show whenever you get the chance.
Okay, let me finish this real quick because I gotta play Remy Ma's. Like she went off on
Yeah, do you think?
All right, and we're gonna chop it up about that. Let me play this because I mean Remy Ma just act like she don't care, but you could tell she cares. She don't want. It's typical. She don't want Papoose, but at the same time she don't want nobody else to have him because she probably figured he's so loyal, like a loyal dog. I could screw this dude over as much as we want, and he'll never leave. Hey, shout out to my boy JC for the contribution in the PayPal. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate your contribution. I'm not even trying to drag this topic. Let me just play her what she had to say. See, she's childish.
Two French braids could go. Stop. Like, so stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. What do you type in my name? Bro. If you listen to YouTube, because my mom called me, she's like, I just want to make sure you're okay. You know, everyone keep.
Hey, I think Clarissa is way better looking than this ugly thing. Clarissa's cute. This girl looked like a Jamaican housekeeper, bro. She's like weak.
Honestly, if both of them was dolled up, I'll give it to Remy, me personally.
Hell no, I think Clarissa looked way better. Remy looked kind of whooped.
Keeps calling me. I said, Mama, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know, they saying you're sick and that you're in a coma. And I was like, what? Ma. First of all, I do believe if I was in a coma, they'd call you. I'm just assuming that. But these people, and this shit should be on there having tens of thousands of views. I'm sick. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. Like, I'm very healthy, actually. I'm the healthiest I've been in a long, like since I started my pescatarian and my Pilates and things like that. I'm good. You understand? I'm not sick. Anybody that I sit next to, oh, that's her new boyfriend. Oh, she's on boyfriend number 4. How the fuck I'm gonna have a boyfriend where I have a lawyer? I have a lawyer. She has been retained since last year. Because the original plan was like, you know what? You do what you want to do. I do what I want to do. We said we was gonna raise our daughter a certain way, and we'll just we gonna figure out how to live in the same house and whatever. But then motherfuckers felt like they can control what I do, but do whatever they want to do. When niggas tried to do, when it came to my event and make a fucking scene, if y'all really look back, this didn't come from me. I'm not pushed, Jason. I'm not pushed to the edge. I'm sitting on my couch, waiting for the laundry people that come and pick up the laundry and wash it and fold it.
Listen, man, basically this chick ain't accepting no accountability for nothing. She cheated on Papoose. He caught her. She ain't got no evidence of him doing nothing. She was trying to talk with the dude. Like after the therapy session, they was sleeping in the same bed or whatever, or they sleeping in different beds in the same room. Bro, get up. She knocked out sleep with her mouth open. Bro, go look at her phone. Bro is on the phone. She didn't fell asleep on this dude. So they pillow talking all night and shit like that. This lady is never gonna accept accountability for anything, and that's fine. That's what women do. They afterwards, it's just all your fault. Oh, he tried to do this, and this was the agreement, and all that stuff. Come on, girl. That boy ain't agreed to let you go bone other people and then went and knock the dude out. And on top of that, if you did have that relationship, why your side hoes and side pieces don't know their place where they supposed to like? Why are they posting about you? When you going out with your man, telling people, yeah, we sleep, we fucking, and and all this type of stuff. It's just wrong, and she's 1000% wrong. And guess what? She's gonna get what's coming to her because as of right now, she's not with nobody. So welcome go ahead.
Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off. You know what? Her and Megan Thee Stallion share the same fate. You know what I'm saying? Like getting caught up in their lies. Megan and her is gonna share a rude awakening very soon because when it's all said and done and like when everything comes out, I mean people they gotta choose sides, man, and like she got a business too. So like her doing these weird activities is like that's gonna affect your business too. Cause every event, every main event battle that she throws for her leagues or whatever, the main event battler always goes against her. I don't know if you've seen the shotgun shit versus Easy the Block Captain battle, but he was just dogging Remy Martin throughout
Remy
his
Ma.
whole battle.
Yeah, oh yeah, I saw that. And they could Easy Block Captain couldn't even do anything. I saw that where he was like talking about her cheating on Papoose with him, right?
Yeah, and like every battle that she throws, like if it's gonna be Easy to Block Captain, like because even him, like for me, like dude, like you, so you think that what he's going through, Papoose, right? What you think that she won't do that to you? And you hugged up on her, you hugged up with her, doing like Christmas Hallmark gift card photos and shit. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
they
Like
are
you don't
like
think
that's the thing. Like, man, bro, listen, Papoose 47, Remy Ma 44, Clarissa is 30 years old. There's just no way Remy Ma's gonna win this little. She's not gonna come out better off than him because if you just look at her attitude, what man wants to be around that 24 hours a day? Even just the sound of her voice is annoying as fuck. Like she's trash at this point. Like she might have a little money, but everybody who deals with her is gonna be thinking you ain't about to do me like you did, Papoose, embarrassing bro out here. So she's fucked. And that's what women don't understand. Like a man could go bone a chick and have no emotional attachment to that chick, not expect nothing. And that chick, if she's letting the dude hit, she's probably like, yo, hey, I would be with this guy if I had the opportunity. And that same thing works against women when they cheat. Because 9 times out of 10, that dude who's boning you, he has no emotional attachment to you. He's saying what he
You
needs
know
to
what?
say to get in your damn draws.
You know what, Brandon? I want to ask you a question. Do you subscribe to the school of thought of all women are children mentally?
Yes. So I know a lot of women are going to be mad at me, but I think women should be treated as children until they prove otherwise. I mean, I'm being real because all the women I've dealt with were hella immature. Like most of them, not all. But a woman really got to show you she has maturity. And then you can kind of like deal with her on that level. But I got a bunch of sisters and shit. They in their 30s, man. They act like little kids, bro. I got fucking old people in my family. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I mean, okay. What if a mom was like, what about your mom? Would you call her a child too?
My mom has the most childish mindset ever.
Mm.
My mom has less maturity than my 16-year-old daughter. And I'm not even joking about that. My mom
So
has
would you
like
say most
my
women or
mom has
all
the
women?
maturity. My mom has the maturity level of like a 13-year-old kid.
Mm.
But even Shazara Had Ali said the same thing. She said the same thing. She was like, most women have the maturity of like a 15-year-old girl. Because I mean, think about it, bro. You got women that's 50, 40. All they worried about is being cute all day. Ooh, girl, I was just trying to get cute. Like, girl, you 50. Talking about getting cute. Like, and
Yeah,
in a way,
man.
I think women should only. I mean, I feel like a lot of women that should be their only responsibility. But you ever saw those like TikToks where those girls are like, "I'm with my boyfriend," and they just randomly not thinking that they like when I'm with my boyfriend, I don't have to think about nothing. Like, have you seen those TikTok clips?
Yeah. You know, I don't know why, but like most of the, I don't know if these are some AI generated type of TikTok. I see some old women, thick as hell, working.
Man, can you stay focused, nigga? You jumping all over the place.
No, but it adds to what you're saying though, because like a lot of
What is being
older
thick as
women
hell?
try to do these young women things.
Nah, well, yeah, that's true. I think women are just kind of like there's a certain point where they plateau in maturity. And I think men, we do shit too, but I don't think like a man cheating is like a sign of immaturity. I just think a man cheating is a sign of horniness. Like,
I wouldn't say
really.
horniness. I mean personally, I feel as though men and their testosterone. See, listen, women don't got the listen. Women doesn't name one woman who wakes up horny to the max compared to a man. Like women don't go through that. Men do.
Man,
So
women
like,
are
I mean,
horny.
that's
What are you talking about?
no wait, no. I'm talking about waking up. Like you know how men wake up with
Women are
a
hornier than men, bro. By a lot, I would say.
nah. But no, but I'll say this though: to make a baby, you need a man's orgasm, not the other way
We
around.
ain't talking about babies. We talking about horniness.
But like, I'm talking about testosterone though. Like men has a thing called testosterone.
That don't mean
That's the
anything.
main.
You not like, bro, women walk around dripping all day, wet, right? Like horny, bro. Like women could have sex with like 7 dudes in one day and still be like, ooh, I could get more. You're not gonna match women in horniness. Like, trust me. Trust me on this one. If you got a healthy woman, she look at this. Sticks and Stones just said it, bro. My girl damn near flipped this whole apartment inside out because we ain't doing nothing. We ain't doing nothing for a few days. Like, for real. Like, if your girl is not having sex with you or trying to have sex with you, something's going on. Something's wrong. She might be on her period or she's mad at you or she's cheating on you with some other guy, women are definitely hornier than men, bro. Trust me. Because men, we get to the point where like, okay, we didn't hit that, before, it gets normalized to us, but women are just like, give me that dick, like that's how they are. You gonna see. You still young, bro. You gonna see though. Don't like.
But before I go,
have
I
you ever had a
wanna salute
girlfriend?
you.
Wait, have you ever had a
Yeah.
girlfriend who had like a higher sex drive than you? Like I'm talking about. You dudes think they want a freaky girl, like a horny girl. You get a girl who is truly horny, it will be annoying to you. Like, why do you want to keep having sex so much? That's just damn near scary.
But before I head out, though, I wanted to salute you on that.
I'm gonna take that as a no.
Oh, okay. Oh, you for real? Oh, okay. Honestly, I mean, not more than me. Nah, I haven't. Nah, honestly, like real talk, I never had a chick that was more horny than me. Nah.
Keep on living, brother. Keep on living. Nah, but go ahead. What was you gonna say?
Nah, man. I wanted to say that like I saw your video on No Jumper with that one dude who dressed like Eminem. He was schooling him.
The white racist dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Adam was trying to like get like an equivalent to you, but like on a white man spectrum. But it didn't come close. It's like he didn't really like his arguments fell flat left and right as you was just dropping bomb after bomb. And it's like why was he even like this? They should have got this shouldn't he should have got a better racist to combat you.
Seriously. Give me Nick Fuentes.
But he's Mexican though, ain't he?
Yeah, but he's a better racist. He's a better racist than that guy.
And
but
like,
my thing is,
I wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead first. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I want to hear what you got to say. Go ahead.
Tariq would have lost the argument to that dude. Tariq is constantly getting spanked by white supremacists in debates. Like, I don't get how you lose a debate to a white supremacist unless you're just going in cocky thinking you're gonna, a lot of black people think they're inherently smarter than a white supremacist. But like a lot of those guys come with facts and statistics, but bro is just ignorant.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And like one of the things that kind of irked me through that whole interview was like he kept saying, "Oh, every time I try to ask you something about black people, you always try to put it back on white folks." Like, dude, like what he's saying is still true. Like it's kind of like that. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? Because like white people are still in these positions, passing these laws, making these rules, signing these bills, signing these legislations, and they're the ones who's effing you over with these schools and these agendas, with these women and like women and men and women's dresses and stuff like that. And like you said it the best too. You said the black chick at the airport who was like just being totally ignorant for no reason for her to do, try to get on the board. You said it the best. She was like, blame the white corporate people who hired her. Like, why are you mad at Shorty? Like,
right. I mean, that, and on top of that, that white guy know you can't get on no damn plane 30 minutes before takeoff. They closed the gate on that bitch like an hour before takeoff. That was stupid to me. They about to let you run out there 10 minutes before the plane takeoff, and he was there 30 minutes early and hadn't even had his ticket or nothing, bro. But yeah, they make the rules, and then when the rules work against them or when it blows up in their face, they start looking for somebody else to blame. White people are controlling this country. Whatever happens in this country is on them until they relinquish control to another group of people. Then it'll be on that group. But man, thank you for hopping up here with me. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you to every single person who watched the stream, who contributed to the stream, who hit the like button. Hey, my people over there on Twitter, if you could come over here and hit the like button, because we got about 80 people on YouTube, but we got about 70 people on Twitter. So we got about 150 people in here right now. If you guys could come over and like the video on YouTube, that would help me spread my message and get some more traction in the algorithm. And I would greatly appreciate it. Shout out to Ryan, ooh la la, for the $20 holler in the Cash app. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was a surprise, but thank you. Thank you so much. Oh shoot, you know what? I thought this was girl Ryan. My bad. Mike Larry. Thank you for the $20 holler. You know I got a special lady in my life named Ryan. I thought that was her, but it's you, Mike Larry. Thank you, my brother. No homo. Sorry. Pause. 1,000 pauses. And also, I'm gonna enter you into the raffle. Let me write you down. Actually, you're already entered, I think. Let me mark it down. Mike Larry. Yeah, you were in for 1 entry. Now you are in for 5 entries, my brother. You and MJ are tied with 5 entries apiece. Got you right here. I'm serious about this raffle. So y'all gonna get what y'all got coming if y'all contribute to the stream. Appreciate y'all. JC said he's 100% for reparations. Thank you all for watching this. I appreciate every single thing you do for me in this channel. Till the next time, take care of yourselves. But more importantly, please take care of each other. Till the next time, this is Brandon Tucker signing off.